Fullerton Unfiltered is straight ahead. Hi, I'm Mr. Producer, encouraging you to pick up both the residential and commercial contract that Brian offers at lawntrepreneur.academy.com. The price on both of those increases July 1st. The contracts are editable with your specific info and will help just give you the confidence to grow your business and present your company in a highly professional way. There's a link in the show description.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It's your host, Brian Fullerton, here hanging out with you guys. Today, we have a great guest interview lined up for you guys. We're going to jump right on into it. We have none other than Jesse Winter joining us today from Oasis Lawn and Landscape. Jesse, how's it going, bud?
Pretty good, thanks. How about you?
I'm doing good. We're doing a podcasting marathon today. I think you're my third or fourth episode for today.
Crikey, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is definitely a lot. And but we gotta. My friend Keith Kalfa says you got to get in where you fit in. You know, so we're doing the best we can with trying to make sure that we got content for you guys during the week when you guys are out mowing grass. You know.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, hey, we're your accent's a little different. Maybe somebody listening to the show they might notice that you said the word crikey. So, where are you based out of, bud?
So we're located in Victoria, Australia, which is one of the states down here, and we offer lawn and landscape services. Mainly lawn mowing is our main factor and what makes us the most money at the moment. But we also offer services such as hedge trimming, mulching in the springtime as well, for those who want it. We also plant little shrubs and flowers for people who also want it. And yeah, basically just anything gardening related, we do it. So yeah, that's basically it.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So you're 13 years old. That's really, really cool. And it sounds like you are a budding entrepreneur. And there's so many of you guys that listen in from Europe. We've got people from South America. We've got people from Canada. And apparently also over there in Australia, actually. So, which is really, really cool. Shout out to all my friends in Australia. We have some friends over in, I think it's New Zealand as well, which is crazy. I just did a podcast with a young gentleman. He was about 29 years old as well. His name is Jack, and he was a crane operator, and now he's into lawn and landscaping himself. So how cool is that, Jesse?
Yeah, that's really cool. Like, I've definitely seen a big spike in the lawn care industry recently, especially on YouTube, because I also have my own YouTube channel, and I know a lot of other Australians that do as well. And the amount of views per video these people are getting is like insane. Like I saw one that's a month old by a guy named Blade Mate Lawn Care or Blade Mate Lawns. I saw one that was filmed a month ago and it already has 1.5 million views.
Wow, no kid.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow. Why do you think that is? I just like this one, I know there's a lot of overgrown videos and they seem to go and fit into the category oddly satisfying. And a lot of people, I just think, like to sit down and watch about 20 minutes of that and they kind of feel satisfied, I guess. I think that's why they watch them. But yeah, my style of videoing, it's hard to find because it's like you want to do with YouTube, you want to do videos that you want to do. So I actually uploaded one yesterday called The Day in the Life of Oasis Lawn Landscape, which you can go watch on my YouTube channel, which I'll talk about at the end. Yeah.
But like compared to the ones where I do overgrown lawns, that didn't do as well because the algorithm doesn't push it because not many people interact with it when they see it.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, you want to make the good videos that you enjoy, but then you got to find the hard ones as well. So
Yeah, welcome to YouTube, which is a moving target. It's for any of you guys that make content on YouTube, a really helpful video like how to make more money cutting grass or how to improve your route density will get 5,000 views, like you were just saying. But then if you want to do a mowing tall grass video or oddly satisfying or drama fest videos, they all get millions of views, which is very funny and ironic with YouTube. So I've actually tried to sidestep all of that because I appreciate views, but I don't want views just for views or trying to make the money on YouTube. I like helping people and adding value, and if it's a slow and steady wins the race, then that's going to be my approach. And so we're still trying to do our best for making equipment reviews and how-tos and trying to help you guys actually grow a more successful business. To me, that is something that is a little bit more satisfying than just somebody knocked down tall grass. But to each their own, amen? So any which way.
Yeah, I 100% agree. The main reason I started the Instagram account, the YouTube account, is mainly to get myself, put a name for myself out there.
Yeah.
And so people know, hey, this is Desi. He's one of the younger guys in the community, but he also does a really professional job. So
that's awesome.
I've learned really good things like how to edge with the whippersnippers, as we call them, or line trippers or brush cutters, as you guys may call them.
Yeah.
We call them whippersnippers.
Whippersnippers.
Yeah, a bit of a funny name, but that's
awesome.
what we call them. And so I've learned correctly how to edge with that, so I don't have to take a blade edge at every job. Although if someone wants a blade edge, I'm more than happy to give it to them. However, from 99% of my jobs, they're mainly weedy grass just because of the area we're in.
Mm-hmm.
And most of our soil types are clay, so we don't really get much prestigious lawns. So if they want a blade edge, I'm more than happy to give it to them. However, 99% of our lawns is just edging with the whippersnipper. So yeah,
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And by the way, for some of you guys listening in that listen to the show, we get a variety of guests on the show. We have young guys on the show. We have 35-year-old old farts like me on the show. So we try to cover the gamut here. But if you guys are noticing that Jesse might sound a little tired or like he's just waking up, it's because he is. It's what time is it over there, Jesse?
It is just about to clock over 7:30 a.m. in the morning.
That's crazy.
So pretty early. And this is on Monday morning, so we're in the future.
I know. Yeah. How's the future look? Should I buy some more Bitcoin, or how does the market look? No,
it's looking a bit cloudy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow.
Not much is happening at the moment.
Yeah. Do you guys get winter or snow or anything over by you in Australia, or no?
It's actually funny you ask, because right now we're currently in winter. So the when you go into winter, we go into summer. As soon as you go into spring, we go into autumn, and vice versa. So basically, we're in winter right now. However, we don't get a lot of snow. You actually have to go up into the mountains to get that type of snow. Whereas down here, it's mainly just rain. But I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on, but weather's just been perfect for us at the moment. Blue skies and everything, and I've been out mowing and the grass is still growing, so
yeah,
that's a good thing, I guess.
That's awesome, bud. That's awesome. Hey, how did you find all of our content and YouTube and lawn care? I mean, you're 13 years old. You're just getting your business started. And by the way, your parents endorsed you being on the show. They said it's totally cool. So were you watching YouTube videos, or are you just trying to make some extra money when you were getting started? Because you're 13, but you sound like you're 20.
Well, actually, the main reason behind all of this, he goes by the name of Greg Chism. Now, I don't know if you've heard of him.
I know. I know Greg. Yeah.
It's awesome. But yeah, when I was about 2, I'd sit on the deck or the balcony or whatever you like to call it. We call them decks over here. And I'd watch my dad mow the lawn, and I was like, damn, that's really cool and really fun. So as I got older, I had a bit more flexibility, and all of a sudden I was 6 years old mowing the lawn by myself. And then I'd come back inside and I found this YouTube channel called Geek to Freak Lawn Care. And I just watched all his videos and binged them basically. And I actually sent him a private message, I think over Facebook. My mum did actually. But we sent him a private message. And then days later, he announced the video where he quit. And I was like, oh, that kind of broke my heart, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I was so glad to see him finally making his comeback late last year, which was nice. So, and his channel's once again skyrocketed. So
that's crazy. What did you like watching the most from his videos?
I'm not sure. Just like the whole process of he'd pull out the whippersnipper or the line trimmer, and he'd do the flat edge, and then he'd flip it on its 90-degree angle and do the edging that way, and then he'd use the leaf blower and blow off, and then mow, and it was just the whole kind of process of how he made a yard that would normally look a bit bad or trashy into a good-looking yard, or basically better than what it already was.
No kid. Yeah, he was really, really successful on YouTube, and he would mow these like little just like little tiny homes, you know, with a push mower. He was one of the first guys I watched doing YouTube as well, man. That's crazy, isn't it? Our friend of ours, Paul Jameson with the Green Industry Podcast. I think you were on the Green Industry Podcast too, right?
Yeah, sure was.
Yeah, he was actually one of the people that inspired Paul to want to start a lawn landscape business as well. So Paul was working this radio station in the graveyard shift, like the midnight shift, and that's just crazy. Like how many people got their start with lawn care because of Greg just mowing. You know, just these kind of dumpy lawns. But he would just do these voiceovers for 30, 40 minutes. And that was one of the first couple of videos, him and another guy named Jason Ambro, with all these like review videos. So,
Ambro's Landscaping.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon that too.
I reckon I started, sorry to cut you off. I reckon I started watching him around probably 2018.
Okay.
And I was just obsessed with that. And I think at that point he was just making the move over to walkers, the walker mowers.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, those things start well. Because in Australia, the cutting heights are a lot different. We don't actually cut as tall as you guys. We actually cut shorter. So unless you've got a cylinder mower where it's like has a roller on the back that stripes, and you've got really good grass, you don't really see a lot of stripes. It's not a big thing. It's more kind of the factor of keeping it short and neat and presentable. So that's when you're not aiming for stripes. Like I was last Saturday, I said in the video, I was doing yards at an average of 28 minutes per yard, and I was doing front, back, and as we call them, nature strips, which is the little curb sides. And I was averaging 28 minutes amongst all of them. And it was a good way because I thought, you know what, if I'm making such and such per hour, then I reckon the fact that I can knock out basically 2 yards in an hour, I was very proud of that, especially with the fact of the money I was making off those lawns. So yeah.
Wow. What got you into starting to cut grass? Was it YouTube, or was it just making a couple dollars, or what was the most exciting part, or why do you do what you do?
Well, the main reason was it was really never about dollars, and I've discussed this with a lot of people. If I wanted to go out there and just do what I do for free, I would. However, I need to also think about the future, and I need to think about buying my first car and kind of potentially also buying my first house as well, although that's probably a long time in. We just have to think about those things because in 2 years' time, most of my friends, they'll be looking to also get jobs when they're 15. And so down in Australia, in Victoria, when you turn 15, you basically get a part-time job but still go to school. So by the time I'm 15, I want to hope to not have to go for a part-time job and continue with the lawn mowing. Because at the rate I'm going, I'm actually making more an hour than, let's say, someone doing deliveries at a pizza shop. So, yeah.
Are you required to, or like, is that just what you're able to, like at that age you can now start getting a part-time job, or does everybody have to get a job, or how does that? I don't know too much about Australia. I'm America. We're very narcissistic here, so
it's a lot different. It's not. I'm not sure with all the type of laws behind it, but it doesn't seem to be a full requirement. But like, you go into the school. Actually, our school's really weird. It's probably one of the only two-story schools in Victoria. So you have year 7s or grade 7 on the bottom. So I'm in high school, it's kind of a weird, because you guys have elementary school, middle school, and high school. Mm-hmm. We just have this thing called primary school, which goes up to year 6, and then we have high school from year 7 to year 12. So I'm actually fortunate enough to be in a kinder to year 12. So you've got primary school up one end, you've got a kinder in the middle, and then a high school down the other. And then there's 2 high school buildings. So basically the year 10, 11 and 12. And then there's the year 7s, 8s and 9s. So the 8s and 9s are on the second story. And you can kind of not scroll, but you can kind of stroll past, and you'll see, like, I don't know if you've still got it, but like Kmart and supermarkets saying, "Oh, we're hiring such and such." So it's kind of like, all right, well, hand in your resume, and yeah, that's basically all you do, and you probably get the job, and that's what the teachers really expect from you. Okay. However, if you're making more, in my opinion, if I'm making more than I can at a supermarket, then I'm going to continue with what I've got going, because I love doing it. And like I said earlier, if I could, I'd do it for free, but sometimes those circumstances are a bit all over the place and you can't really do that.
Sure. That's all. I really enjoy having this conversation with you. You are a butt kicking young man, and you're gonna go far, man. I'm really excited for you. What do your parents think about you right now in your lawn care business? Both
my parents are all for it. They're really happy with how far I've come. I think I probably officially started Oasis Lawn Landscape back in 2019.
Okay.
However, I actually got my first leaf blower, just the BG56, in 2016 when I was, I think, 8. So I started using that, and then by the January 2017, I just turned 9, because I have my birthday in December. So I just turned 9, and I actually bought my first ever lawnmower for $400.
Wow!
And that was practically the day it all started. And then I just kind of built up money until I got to 2019, and I started buying whippersnippers and just bigger things. I also bought a ride-on lawnmower, just a small John Deere 42-inch. Which I don't know how, but I can legally drive on the road. So just things like that really got my business to an independent level, and my parents are really proud of how far I've come. The only thing is they just don't want it, and I completely understand this, they just don't want it getting in the way of school, because as soon as lawn mowing takes over school, then I stop getting an education, and then things kind of go downhill. So I completely understand that, because school, as much as you may not like it, it also you have to
Got to do it. Amen.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Well, if you're going to do it well, do it right, and you can do both. I agree, and that unfortunately, you don't get permission from me or anybody to drop out as much as that might stink. No, I'm just having fun. So keep doing a good job there. What are some tips that you can give to other kids your age? Maybe they're 10, 12, 13 years old. Maybe they're 15 or 18 and they're just trying to, get a lawn care business started. Any tips or any piece of advice that you can give these guys that is like really glaring, like a big tip that's right in front of your mind?
The big one, I've got a few, but the big one that is kind of going boom, boom in the front of my mind is route density, or root density as we call it.
Root.
So,
yes.
Yeah. So, my density, so basically I've got 2 different routes or routes. So I've got the one near my house, my mum's house, and then I've got the one in the next suburb over. So I kind of alternate between those every time I go out and mow. So this coming Saturday, I'm doing the one in the different suburb. Last Saturday, I did the ones near my house. And I have 3 side by side. I have one across the road and then one other down the street. And they're all really good earners. I think they earn something up to $250, something like that. And it takes me about 2.5 hours to do. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's probably not the best money you could earn in that time, but it's also not the worst in my opinion. But on Saturday, I think I was averaging something like $65 an hour. For us, especially considering that I think teachers over here get paid $35 an hour. I think that's really good money for what I was doing. So
that's awesome. Well, yeah, good for you.
Thank you. It probably, at this point in time, because I don't have all the time in the world and I can't expand to the fullest potential, it's probably not the most stable income, unlike teachers, because I may be out there for 2-3 hours a day earning $65 an hour. However, they're out there for what? Probably about 7 hours a day, the teachers, earning $35 an hour. So, and then they do that 5 days a week, where I'm only doing that 1 day a week. So you kind of have to equal it out of, yes, you may be making more an hour. However, long term, if you're not making, if it's not a stable income, then just kind of keep hustling to the point where it is.
Sure. Well, or you can go hire a bunch of teachers that like to work 7 hours a day, and then you can pay them more money and they can all make $65 an hour for you, and you can be the owner of the company, so.
Yeah. But at the same time, another thing that goes into it is that to get your teacher's degree over here, you have to go through university, or I'm pretty sure it's referred to as college in America.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a 2 to 3 year course that you have to go through. Whereas, I mean, anyone can really pick up a lawnmower, and as long as you do a good job, then they're going to want you for more. And yeah, that's how I've kind of built it up. So yeah.
Man, that's awesome. I really enjoy getting to have all these different conversations, Jesse, with all these different folks that we hear all across the U.S., all across Canada, folks over in the UK. And then also, I think we actually trend like in the top 150 or 200 for podcasts in Australia.
I think you do actually, yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy. If you guys ever want to look up the podcast stats for all these different podcasts, it's Chartable, CHARTABLE, chartable.com. All of our stats are public. That's why I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm not trying to be under impressive either, I guess, because everything is public. But I know you and all of your Aussie friends down there, the land down under is what we say here. You guys keep us on the top of the charts, which is really, really fun. So we appreciate your support. You want to hear a quick funny story, Jesse, while I got you, about something that is sort of Australian related?
Yeah, no worries.
So we have a restaurant here called Outback Steakhouse. Do you guys have those?
No, not from what I remember. We just, have the normal food chains, and then I don't know if you have this restaurant called a Porto. It's a bit of an Australian fast food chain.
No.
Sorry, I can't speak now. But
no.
Yeah, it's an Australian fast food chain, and we just have it over here. So I don't know if you have that, but yeah.
No, not that I know. But we have this restaurant called Outback, and do you know what the word pander means or no?
No clue.
you can Google that one later, but it's a fun restaurant. It's an Australian themed restaurant. Okay, somehow it's just a steakhouse, it's a chain, but they do steaks and shrimp and chicken and lobster tail. But on their menu they do appetizers, like the food before the food, right?
Yeah.
And so they don't call them appetizers, they call them Aussie-tizers, which is awful. So
that is really corny.
that is really corny, isn't it? So funny story, about a year ago, I was probably sleep deprived. I'm going out to Outback with my wife, Liz, and we're going to order some appetizers. They have these really good grilled shrimp. They're these just 8-piece shrimp on a skewer. They're really good. You can't do a podcast on our channel without talking about food. So anyway, the girl comes over and she goes to take our order. And she goes, would you guys like anything before you put in your entree order? And I said, yes, I would like to order an Aussie-tizer, because that's what the menu says. And I've never said that before. And I don't think anybody else has ever said that before. And the girl, she looks at me and kind of turns her head sideways, like a husky, like a dog would. And she goes, what did you just say? And I said, I'd like to order an Aussie-tizer. And she goes, I don't think anybody's ever called them that, sir. And so it was really funny. It was really awkward. We put an order in for the shrimp, and then the girl walked away, and my wife said, "What was that?" And I said, "I don't know. I was trying to be funny, calling them an Aussie-tizer." So you guys don't call your appetizers Aussie-tizers? That sounds like
no. And honestly, the thing with our restaurants, we don't really have the appetizers or any of that. We just go straight to the main meal. So
nice.
Another really big Aussie tradition is what most of Australia call the Aussie palmy, which is basically a chicken schnitzel with tomato sauce on the top. Not tomato sauce, but tomato paste, and then ham, and then cheese. And it's basically that's just basically it. And then you cook it, and you've got yourself a palmy, or as the Victorians, I don't know why, but we've got to be different. We call it a palmer. So I like palmer, a palmer. So I personally like palmer better, but palmy just, I don't know.
I love it.
Sound as good.
I love it, man. I love it. One day I'll get over to Australia, and I'll have to get over to Sydney and Brisbane and all these different places. I see them on YouTube and Instagram. Yeah. Do you guys have? I know this sounds kind of weird, but do you guys have the big spiders and the big snakes that I always see on Instagram
Oh yeah. Yeah. They can just appear at any time, and I think it's a bit different to the rest of the world. If they saw them, they'd be freaking out, whereas we just see them and let them crawl past. It's not as, I don't see as many snakes as I used to. I think I've seen a little brown snake once when doing an overgrown cleanup, but, if you just stand back and sit down for 5 minutes, it scatters away, and then it's no issue to you. So, yeah, you get back to it. Yeah. But I may have to actually send you some Aussie snacks, just some of our Tim Tams and Vegemite. So I might have to do that for you.
If you do that, I'll put it on a YouTube video. How about that? I'll make.
All right, sounds good.
We have our PO box in our Instagram. If you guys ever want to send stuff, I check it about once a month. So work with me, because sometimes people are like, "Hey, did you get my gift card?" And I'm like, "No, but I guess you sent me a gift card," because I check it once a month. But if you want to send something, that's cool. You don't have to. But I'd love to check anything out that you guys send, and we always appreciate hats and shirts and swag. And a lot of you guys know I'm addicted to Chick-fil-A and Chipotle, so So a lot of people send those gift cards, which is never expected, but always appreciated.
I really want to try Chick-fil-A. Like if I ever go to America, I reckon that's going to be the first food I ever try.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. You should try it. It's pretty good. It's the Lord's food, So, hey, have you guys, maybe if you get older, it might be a pretty big investment, but one day you got to, see if your parents and maybe you and your dad or you and your mom, come over to GIE Plus Expo. That's a huge trade show that we do here in America.
Yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah.
We actually tried, so before the fourth lockdown, one of my friends, Dale, he actually tried to have like a little expo type thing just out here in Melbourne. And we ended up just all going out there for a meet and greet. And I've seen after the first day of the GIE Expo, how you have those little rallies. And you all get to do that meet and greet. So it was basically like that, except everyone bought their equipment. And then we actually had a Skag dealer, because Skag is now pretty big in Australia.
Okay.
And I really like their products as well. The V-Ride too is really nice. But we actually had a Skag dealer come down with, I don't know if you've seen it, but the Skag Windstorm.
Yeah, we have those here. Yep.
Yeah, and then he also came down with a V-Ride, but I reckon all in all, probably the favourite ride on the day there was probably the Grandstand 48-inch, because I really liked that. The manoeuvrability, and the controls weren't really tight to move. But yeah, definitely a potential purchase, as we call it.
What kind of brands do you guys rock over there right now?
Well, mainly for the bigger contractors, most of us, including myself, are using the steel petrol or gasoline powered products.
Okay.
We have some using battery powered, but most of us are still using the petrol because we call our gasoline petrol.
Yes.
So we've got a lot of different slang words that make no sense to others but ourselves. So that's awesome. Basically behind that.
What equipment do you personally run right now? You said, do you have like some push mowers, or what do you run?
So I personally run the steel with whippersnippers or grass trimmers. I run the steel FS94, which is my go-to everyday trimmer. And then we also run the FS91 for that big overgrown stuff, but it's also good for every day if I have someone helping me. So I personally like that.
Yeah.
We are looking at making some upgrades to the BR, I think it's the BR 700 or BR 800 by Steel later this year. I'm not sure about the BR 800 only because we only have access to the side start, and I've actually used that before and I'm not a big fan of it. Whereas the BR 700, which unfortunately replaced the BR 600, I may end up going for that instead.
Okay.
But right now we're just rocking the small handheld BG56.
You got a great setup there.
As for mowers, I'm actually running a John Deere lawn tractor for now, a 42-inch, which will hopefully be upgrading to a stander in the next 2-3 years coming. And then for push mowers, I'm rocking a Massport President 3000. So I don't know if you have Massport over there, but we have Massport, which is a bit more like Craftsman.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a homeowner brand. So I'm definitely also looking at upgrading that to a commercial Honda, because commercial Honda push mowers are the best thing you can see over here. Everyone loves them.
That's awesome.
You don't see many. I also have a Toro recycler, but you don't really see many of those type mowers over here. You just really see either Massport or Honda. So we'll definitely be upgrading to a Honda, but it's a bit of an expense, that's for sure. I think they're something like $1,700 Australian.
Wow.
So that's probably about 1.3 for you in America.
Well, here, let me give me 1 second here, bud. I'm gonna try to do something here. If I lose you, I'll call you right back. Okay, but you got 1 second. Can you hang tight?
Yeah, all good.
2,000 years later, 6.5 hours later, a few inches later, day 2, day 3, day 4, a few moments later, 1 eternity later.
Hello?
Hey, is this Greg?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Greg Chism.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
I don't know. Can you hear Jesse Winter on the phone?
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad. How about you?
I'm here. I'm doing good. Everything's cool.
So I'm literally holding the phone up to the microphone right now. So Greg, I'm doing a podcast right now with a young man named Jesse. He's over in Australia. It's 7:30 in the morning, dude. He's got to get running in like 10 minutes for school and get his lawn route ready for the day. And he was watching your videos at like 5 years old, bro. And he literally was watching you when he was a kid. Jesse, tell him how young you were and the videos you were watching on his channel.
So I think it was probably about 2015, 2016 when you stopped, I think. But I was watching you probably from 2013 onwards. And I remember my mum actually sending you a message.
Yeah, did I reply?
Yeah, you replied. It was about, I think I was 7 at the time, but we sent you a message and we said, oh, my dad's got the Echo leaf blower. And you responded by saying, oh, yeah, I got one too. So, and I think that's when you just got the PB 770.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know what? I tried to reply to everybody, especially if someone said they were, younger or from another country, because I was like, oh man, this is cool. Because you're like into it at the right time. It's amazing. So you're still doing lawn care right now?
Yeah, 100%. I've got, I think, about 30 residential clients now. And yeah, I've got to give most of my success to you, honestly, because you got me really started and bought my first lawnmower at 9 years old all by myself. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. See, I love it. See, you're way ahead of where I was. If I could have started with you.
Isn't that
man?
We just did a half-hour podcast. He is doing an incredible job, and I said, let me see if I can work some magic here. I have like wires and cables all over the place here in the podcast studio, and I'm like bridging a call from the Plain States to Australia to Detroit. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I had to give it a shot to see if it would work. And I shot Greg a text message while we were talking, Jesse, and he said, I actually have like 5 minutes really quick. Let me see what I can do. So you got the man on here. You got to get running too, but any one quick question you got for Greg or anything you want to say to him while you got him?
Why? So I really enjoyed the YouTube channel, but why did you end up quitting it?
Well, I got busy with other things, and I put all my information out there, and I had a bunch of people that were like harass my family and me, and so if I would have did it differently, it would have been a little bit.
Yeah. But
maybe I could have kept some of that, some other people that want nobody to be like getting harassed because I had a video up,
Yeah. I really like the 7-Eleven stories as well, but once again, you did actually mention their names a few times, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I mentioned people's names in the videos and stuff, and then people look them up and contact them, and they're like, what? Yeah.
Well, Greg's got his new channel on there with Greg Chism.
Yeah,
don't be scared.
Yeah, don't be scared. Yeah. I'm just on there every once in a while just so I can keep in contact with the lawn care community because I love everybody and everybody's had my back and I got theirs.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think I was your 976 subscriber or something. I don't know. But I saw that I was like, yes. So I kind of, just followed your journey again, probably from about December last year. So, yeah.
Wow. Hey, Jesse, you got to do Greg a favor, okay? On his channel, his most recent video, sometime today after school and work and all that. Can you find his most recent video and say, hey, it's Jesse from Australia from the podcast?
Hang on, I'm going to do it right now for you.
Cool.
That's awesome. Well, hey, let's.
Yeah, I'll find it. I gotta subscribe to you too and stuff. So you gotta. And you need
thank
to make
you.
videos. You need to keep cutting grass. You need to keep learning all about it and stay with it. You're way ahead of the game, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
That's awesome, man. Well, here, let's let Greg go because I know he's really busy and I tremendously respect his time. I didn't know if he would
I'm
actually.
glad you guys got a hold of me. This is an honor. This is nice. I'm glad. This is a great thing to happen on a Sunday here.
I had to return the favor when you and Naylor and Paul video bombed or podcast bombed me. You know, so
Cool.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, Greg, I super appreciate your time. I don't want to intervene on a family day, but we'll get out of your hair, brother. But thanks for taking the call.
That's cool. I'm going to go reply to your comment right now and find out what you got going on in there. I'll be
Sounds
watching
good.
you.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you, Greg. Thanks, brother.
All right, thanks.
All right. See you, bud. Bye. Awesome, man. Well, there you go. That's Greg Chism, man. Geek the Freak. You are, I think, one of the only people we've ever done that with, and I'm very, very thankful that he picked up. So
thank you for that. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, you were his 970th subscriber or something like that, you said?
Yeah, I remember back in the day I didn't know how to subscribe, but I used to watch every video. But then when the Greg Chism Don't Be Scared came out, I think I was his 976 subscriber or something.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. And now he's at what? 6K?
Yeah. I don't even know. He's got other YouTube channels out there, and he is the most brilliant person. He is not lucky, I'll tell you. He is a very, very smart person, and he helped Lawn Care Juggernaut go from 15,000 subs to about 250,000
over
here.
100.
Yeah, with both channels. So they're smart cookies. But hey, you got to get running, bud. I want to make sure that I respect your time as well, even if you're a young entrepreneur and you're 13 going on 40. So where can people find you? Are you on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube?
So right now I'm currently on Facebook for my business. So you can look up Oasis Lawn Landscape, give that a like and see a few pictures. Most of where I do everything now is Instagram. And that's just Oasis Lawn Landscape because I couldn't really get any underscores or I forgot what it's called in there. And then Oasis Lawn and Landscape for YouTube as well.
Awesome, man.
So our goal on there is 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So hopefully we reach that.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Well, I'm super pumped for you. Just keep the hammer down. Just keep doing good in school. Keep doing great with your lawn care business. And doesn't matter what age you are, man. You can make a go of this thing and keep making some good money cutting lawns and see where you want to go from there. Like you said, with high school and university and all that fun stuff, or do both. So, all right, man. Well, hey, we'll button it up right here. You got a busy day going on, and before you know it, I'm going to be going to bed. So you're on the other side of the world, man. So have a great day, and we look forward to catching up with you here soon. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll keep in touch.
Okay, thanks, Jesse. All right, bud. Have a good night. We'll talk to you.
All right, sounds good. See ya.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. Well, we just wow, what a cool special episode here with Jesse over there in Australia. Obviously, he's a little dude. He's a stud. 13 going on 30. But man, you know what? This is what it's all about. This is the stuff that I really enjoy doing. Just trying to connect people, and I don't know what else to say. Like, that's pretty friggin' cool. It's almost like me getting to talk to Steve Yzerman or Wayne Gretzky or one of these greats that I got to look up to as a kid. And kids these days, man, their heroes are not NBA stars and hockey players and football players. Not necessarily. These younger kids, they want to grow up to be YouTubers, and they idolize these YouTubers. And so it doesn't matter if you have one person watching your life or a million people watching your life. You should always be an example out there. Amen. And so any which way, Jesse, great job on this podcast today. And that's what I got for you guys. So let's kick it back over to you, Marty, Mr. Producer. I don't know how to button an episode up like this. We had Greg Chism on the phone. Can you guys believe that? And that just shows that guy's servant heart. And he is a tremendous asset to this community still behind the scenes. He's out there always pulling for you guys. So Greg Chism's like the founding father of lawn care. How funny is that? All right, guys. Well, over and out from this episode of Fullerton Unfiltered. We look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
Here's Brian Fullerton talking about one of the benefits of purchasing the postcard designs from LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com.
Hey, I don't want you guys to have to spend 10 hours trying to get these things designed and all that back and forth, especially if it is during the busy season.
Your time is valuable, and so is your money.
If you buy 2,500, you get 500 extra cards for free. If you buy 5,000, you get an extra 1,000 for free. So that's some of Brian's discounted rates that you're getting.
That's Samantha Heald from Postcard Mania, who is Brian's preferred printer for these proven marketing pieces.
Buy the design from Lawntrepreneur Academy. Email up Samantha and her team. We have a direct link and contact info to reach out to them. And if you guys take that design, that PDF art file, Samantha and her team will make minor edits for
free. Yep, for free. We're doing it for free.
So if you want more customers and discounted pricing on printing, then the proven postcard designs and templates at LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com is the way to go.
Because of the fact that we print all of our own stuff in-house, there are certain tiers and quantities for us that it makes more sense where you guys are getting better price breaks.
Catch Brian's full interview with Samantha on episode 173 and crush your marketing efforts with 11 new postcard designs to go along with the 4 seasonal card designs from last year. LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.